Welcome to the Daily Question. This is your guide to greatness, Troy Hoffman, where we help you find, follow, and finish your course of destiny by asking simple questions that bring you profound insight and transformation to your life. Now, let's get into the question of the day. The question of the day is this: why is financial literacy so important in running a business or anything else you're doing in your life? I don't know where to even go with this question because this is such a massive question. I think number one, if you're young and you're in school listening to this, master basic math, master basic pre-algebra and algebra and basic stats. Those courses are lifelong education that you will apply over and 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 over again in your life. The ability to masterfully look at numbers and come up with quick calculations in your head, and then memorize numbers and memorize formulas and memorize how to get extracting out percentages and what is statistical probability that something will occur, and kind of thinking through so you can apply these concepts to your life. Because if you're running a business, everything sooner or later is going to be about the numbers. You're going to have to run budgets. You're going to have to run looking at the balance sheet. You're going to have to run looking at the cash flow statements. You're going to have to run looking at a ton of things, and you're going to have to wrap your head around a lot of numbers, and you're only going to have literally seconds and minutes to make decisions a lot of times. And a lot of times you're making decisions in very strategic moments, and you're going to need to pull these numbers out of your head. You're going to have to know the data, know the numbers, and be able to pull this stuff out of your head and live with a lot of theories and a lot of details and put them together and come up with constructs that don't even exist yet, because you're operating in future frames from daily past moments, and the data you have from the past, you're able to take that and then throw it into the future and say, I'm gambling and expecting this to occur. And I feel like the more people out there that really take the time when you're going through a situation, right? So every year when you're filing your taxes, I would really take time to understand what you're filing and why. Start understanding the tax code and what the future tax code is for you in whatever situation. If you're just starting out on a job, understand your taxing issues if you're an employee. If you're building a company, how do you start writing things off? How do you start planning for tax issues? If you're much longer far in the game, how do you build trust, and how do you leave a legacy, and how do you leave something like Rockefeller left? I mean, how do you build those style trusts that last for generations and not make the same mistake that Vanderbilt made, where he left a very large fortune and there's no one living off of it, where the Rockefeller left a large fortune, there's still 200 people living off the Rockefeller trust still today. So financial literacy, understanding where you're at, is massive, folks. Literally, if you're listening to this today, take the time to start studying something. If it's going and buying the Tony Robbins' latest books, if it's buying whatever area of your life that you need to start studying, and if it's investing, if it's learning how to cut costs in your life, if it's learning how to put money away, if it's learning how to read a balance sheet, if it's learning how to build a cash flow statement, whatever that is, whatever stage you are, I have screwed up so much and lost so much money in my life because I did not understand this. No one pushed me and said, take every freaking course you can on this. Read books, download books on and why this is important. Download reading materials, print stuff out. Take the time to learn it. Just don't trust a CPA. Don't just trust a financial advisor. Don't just trust an attorney. You've got to be the one that creates the life for yourself. They can give you advice. They can give you great consultation once you are clear on what your options are and what you can choose, because anybody can take you down a wrong road. And the more we know, the more we can truly take control of our own life, take control of our own destinies, take control of how we move money to manifest it in ways that produce better results in our lives, manifest it in ways that produce better results for all the people around us, manifest it in ways where we're actually using it in the most constructive way at the constructive moment, and not getting stuck with a ton of taxes, not wasting a ton of money, not having any clue where the money's going, and the people are stealing from you. They're wasting your money. They're wasting time in the company. It just becomes disaster after disaster if we don't apply these things to our life. And I feel like if you're listening today, challenge yourself, find one book and actually start listening to that book and said, what are the learnings I'm getting from this book, and what action can I take in the next 48 hours to start applying some of these things? If it's saving more money, if it's starting to learn real estate investments, if it's finding a way to invest in a course on QuickBooks, whatever that is for you that's showing up in your life, you say, this is the void, I don't know what to do, I don't know anything about, that's the area I would choose to start learning. Well, folks, thank you again for listening in today and opening up and allowing me to speak into your life. If you are interested in submitting a question, you can go to troyhoffman.com/daily question. Also, enter in your email address and name to get updates on future events, programs, and offers, and more impactful teachings we are doing for the world. You can also go to Instagram and follow me at Hoffman Troy, and find me on Facebook and LinkedIn under Troy Hoffman. Thank you, folks, and now go and live your destiny.